Rain can keep potato volumes low on the markets for this week and support prices. Welcome to this week's AMT Fresh Produce Overview. In these videos we take a deeper dive into the fresh produce market prices and also take a look into the crystal ball and discuss where these markets are possibly headed. All in these episodes made possible by Nedbank, so don't miss a second. Starting with potatoes as usual, the average national price of potatoes stayed mostly sideways last week on R59.97 per 10 kg. Large potatoes increased to R77, mediums stayed on R56 and smalls traded lower on R33 per 10 kg. In terms of varieties, mondial prices decreased to 59, the Sifra price stayed on 63, while the average class 1 price on all markets traded on R64.77 per 10 kg last week. We received a lot of rain, as most people would know, in almost all of the production areas, and most producers won't be able to lift potatoes for the first few days of this week. It will create a shortage and a backlog in orders, which will most likely force prices higher this week. Prices of large and large mediums can especially jump. However, this delay in supplies can force more potatoes on the markets as soon as the rain stops, and if demand stays on a lower level, we can see prices dip sharply over the next few weeks again, so just keep an eye on that as well. Over in the onion market, we saw the average onion price increase slightly to R61.91 per 10 kg last week, but this price is still about 34% lower compared to last year this time. We're now seeing about 46% more volumes on the market still than last year this time. Brown onions stayed on R61, red onions stayed on R74, while the average white onion price increased to R68 per 10 kg bag. Large onions traded higher on R65, mediums increased to R64, while smalls also decreased to R57 per 10 kg. We're still expecting volumes to drop further over the next few weeks and prices to remain on this higher level. The rain is also keeping volumes lower than expected at the moment. As expected, tomato prices got some resistance last week due to higher volumes and lower demand, with the national average price now trading about 16% lower on R16.24 per kilogram. Large tomatoes traded at R21.32, mediums at R16.67 and smalls at R14.42. The expectation is that prices can remain in this downward trend for now, with more volumes coming out of the northern production areas. The rain didn't really affect volumes, but did have a negative effect on demand. Carrot prices jumped to R8.28 per kilogram and is now 3% higher than a year ago. Large carrots traded on R8.20, mediums on R6.90 and smalls lower on R6.80 per kilogram. The rain kept volumes low on the markets, but we are expecting carrot prices to come under severe pressure after this week due to demand that can dip and also more volumes that will likely enter into the markets, especially after Easter weekend. The average pepper price increased by about 14% to R17.26 per kilogram. We however saw green peppers trading lower on R15.77, yellow peppers traded sharply higher on R27.56, while red peppers also increased to R15.21 per kilogram last week. The average national price is still about 30% higher than a year ago, but we are still expecting this price to decrease as we head towards the middle of April. During May and June, we also expect this price to stay on a lower level as well. Cabbage prices traded lower on R3.21 per kilogram. Garlic prices decreased to R50.87, with locally produced garlic dropping sharply to R38.77. Imported garlic, however, stayed relatively sideways on R87.22 per kilogram. Spinach prices decreased by 10% to R7.53 and is now about 45% higher than a year ago. Sweet potato prices decreased to R5.73. Pumpkin prices also increased to R3.56. Butternuts traded sideways on R4.59. Green beans dropped to R16.25 per kilogram, while cucumber prices increased to R12.45 per kilogram. For a deeper dive into these and other market trends, be sure to download our latest reports available for free at amtrends.co.za now. Shifting our focus to the fruit markets, however, the average banana price traded on R9.92 per kilogram or R179 per 18 kilogram box and is now 12% lower than last year this time. We're expecting prices to drop further this week due to lower demand and the markets that's very quiet at the moment. The rain is also keeping buyers away from the markets and spaza shops, which is now translating into lower demand on the markets. Apple prices dropped to R10.27 per kilogram and is still about 26% higher than last year this time. We're still expecting more volumes to gradually push these prices lower over the next month or so. The latest pear price traded on R8.07 per kilogram and can remain on current levels for now. The trade restrictions or the trade tariffs with the USA will also likely put pressure especially on the citrus market. We saw the orange price decreasing by another 11% to R5.17 per kilogram and is now 2% lower compared to a year ago. We're expecting prices to stay in this downward trend for now, and that lower juice prices especially and the higher tariffs this season can result in prices to trade on a lower level compared to last year. The avo price stabilized as was expected and traded on R10.62 per kilogram last week and is now about 8% lower than a year ago. Variety-wise, Viertaste increased to R14, Haas traded on R8, while Pinkertons remained on R11 per kilogram. I think that our prices can stay on this lower level for the next month or so. The average grape price traded on R26.39 per kilogram last week. Pineapples dropped to R10.52, lemons decreased to R5.83 and can stay in a downward trend for now, while blueberries traded on R178 per kilogram last week. This video was proudly brought to you by Standard Bank. For more detailed market insights, visit our website at amtrends.co.za, where you can also download our latest reports for free. Don't forget to join our growing community on WhatsApp for exclusive updates. Just follow the link in the description below. I'm Dr. Johnny van der Merwe, and thank you for watching.